Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and Happy New Year. It is officially 2025. So I am very late in recording this video from when I normally do. The week of Christmas, my son was sick, and then the following week I was sick, and then it's all just kind of gotten away from me, and so I'm really late in filming this, but I do have a TBR for January and February for you guys. So I'm gonna try something a little bit different this time, at least for January and February, just to kind of see how it goes. I am going to choose a selection of books with prompts from my knife throwing, and if I don't finish them all, then I don't finish them all. I want my focus for the next couple of months to be primarily around the content itself rather than primarily around my TBR. So I still want to have that selection of books to choose from that I want to kind of prioritize in the next couple of months, but I want to give myself the freedom to read something else or read something else for a video. So this is just going to be more of a guidelines thing. So I've kind of gone back and forth of how many times I should throw, and I decided to throw 10 times, the exception being if I get a prompt twice, I will add in an extra throw. If I don't read them all, like I said, nothing's gonna happen. It's just that I don't get to them. But I do want to have a selection of books. So basically my thought process with this is if I read half or more, I'm gonna count that as a win. My extra books at the end, like all of my extra throws or anything past 5 is like a bonus. So that's kind of how I'm gonna think of things for the start of this year for my TBR, because like I said, I want my content and the books that I read for content to be my priority here rather than just my TBR. I also wanted to update you of where I am sitting at for the Winter Binger Bingo that my sister and I are doing together. So I have it on here. Hopefully you can see that. I don't have any bingos yet. I am one away along this side, but I have been trying to choose things pretty randomly. And I am currently working on the Advent Calendar prompt right now. I am reading Paradise 1 by David Wellington. The prompt for Advent Calendar is to read a book with a number in the title. Paradise 1, pretty self-explanatory. And I am going to try and continue this through the month of January like I planned, but my prompts won't be these prompts from the bingo like I originally planned. They will just be my regular prompts. I have some new prompts that I've thrown in. I'm not even sure how many I have at this point. I just have a handful of prompts that I've come up with that I'm excited to read. And so yeah, that's how I'm gonna kind of do things. Like I said, it's just gonna be a really chill start out to the year. Like I said, I want to focus on content more so than just my TBRs. So let's go through. Like I said, I did 10 throws with the exception of if I get a prompt twice, I added in an extra throw. And I've chosen a pile of books here that I can choose from. So with that being said, let's get into my throws for January's knife throwing TBR and February's knife throwing TBR. Alright, so the first prompt that I got is a romance. For this one, I decided to go with Savor It by Tara DeWitt. This is obviously a romance novel about Sage and Fisher. Fisher is a chef in New York, and then he loses his Michelin star, and Sage, her ex, gets engaged, and she wants a win, which is basically being him in summer competition festival thing. And so they team up, her and Fisher, and apparently they fall for each other. I don't know. It sounds really cute. I think it's going to be really fun. And this has the potential to fit for my Christmas cookies prompt because he is a chef. So I'm guessing that there's going to be some form of cooking or baking involved. But I'm going to read it and hopefully find out. The next prompt that I got is a sci-fi with a 3-word title. And for that one, I have decided to go with The First Sister. This is by Lyndon A. Lewis. This is a sci-fi that I don't really know a whole lot about it, but it's caught my eye quite a few times, like partly because this cover is absolutely gorgeous. One of my goals for this year, I haven't put up a video for these yet. I am kind of finalizing that and I would like to do that. But one of my goals for this year is to try and kind of diversify my reading a little bit, try a little bit more genres that I haven't really dove into very much. And one of those would be sci-fi. And I really like the sci-fis, I like the space books, but I haven't read very many of them. So I want to try some more out, and this is one of those. This talks about soldiers of Earth and Mars and different planets. So I'm really curious to try this one out, and hopefully I enjoy it. Usually I like the sci-fi books, I have fun with them. They're usually a pretty good time. So hopefully this is that way as well. Next prompt that I got is another 3-word title, which means that we will be adding in an extra throw, so we will have 11 throws, but that's all right. So a 3-word title, and for this one I chose to go with Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. This is book 3 in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. This one is following Gus, the oldest brother, and Teddy Anderson, who is the best friend to our main character in the first book. Her and Gus have been old rivals and they don't seem to like each other very much, but you can always tell in at least the first 2 books that there is a little bit more to it than that. And their relationship personally, like I read the first book and I liked the first book, and then I read the second book, Swift and Saddled, and I absolutely loved Swift and Saddled so much more than Done and Dusted. This is the storyline though that I am most intrigued by, is Gus and Teddy. They have that banter. In the first and the second book, they have that banter, and I've just really enjoyed that. So I've been really curious to see where their story goes. And so I'm very excited to finish out, or I guess not finish out, but continue on in this series because I've really enjoyed these. I like her writing style a lot. They go really quickly. They're not very long, but they're just really cute. And I absolutely love the family aspects in this. Their dad, Gus's dad, is, I love him. He's like a big teddy bear and he's so incredibly sweet. And I just love how much he looks out for all of his family, his blood and his found family that he's kind of adopted into his home. And I love these books. I think they're so sweet and I've had such a good time with them. So I'm really excited to continue on with this series. For prompt number 4, I got a new to me author, and for that one I have another one that I am extremely excited for, and that is You'd Look Better as a Ghost by Joanna Wallace. Obviously a new to me author. I've never read from her before, but this one caught my attention and I've been so excited to read it ever since I read the synopsis for it. Really, the first sentence of the synopsis, or I guess the first 2 sentences, had me hooked and I needed to buy this book. It says, I have a gift. I see people as ghosts before they die. Of course it helps that I'm the one killing them. So this one gives me vibes of like Finley Donovan and the Ruinous Love trilogy and stuff like that. Just kind of quirky and fun and a little bit dark. Dark humor mixed in there. So I'm really excited to try this one out. and read it. I really, really hope that I love it. I don't even know what else this author has written, if anything. I'm sure there's more, but I'm just really excited to try it out. And there's so many of these are new authors to me that I am choosing from here lately. I found a lot of different books that I'm interested in, and I'm very excited to pick them all up. So it's been very, very difficult to make the decisions for this TBR, but I am going to go with You'd Look Better as a Ghost for a new to me author. My next prompt came up as a kid's choice with mythical creatures. Now, I gave my kids, my two older kids, my boys, I gave my kids 4 options. I gave them The Choice by Nora Roberts, Fathom Folk by Elizabeth Chan, I think that's her name, Serpent in the Wings of Night, and Fourth Wing that has dragons. And I thought they were each going to pick out their own book, and I was going to have 2 books to read for this prompt. However, they did both agree that they wanted me to read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros because of the dragons, of course. And so they agreed on this one, so they wanted me to read Fourth Wing. I don't remember a ton about this book. I've kept my thoughts. I've been trying to kind of tone it out and hear the bare minimum, but I've been really curious about it because everybody has loved this book, or everybody's talked about this book here lately. My sister read it, she loved it, and so I'm really excited to try it out as well, because usually her and I are pretty in sync on our books and what we do and don't like in our fantasy books especially. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. I love this edition. It's the beautiful paperback with the dragons on the edges, and it's just got a little bit of shine in there, and it is so pretty. I love paperback books so much. I would do paperbacks 100% of the time if I had that option, but I don't always have that option. So either way, I'm really excited to read this one. My next prompt that I got for prompt number 6 is a book that's between 350 and 400 pages, and for that one I decided to go with How to Fake It with a Fae by Amy Boyles. This is a fantasy romance, cozy fantasy romance kind of book. This is about a girl who's a bookseller and a witch. She has to, I believe, get married or her family will lose their magic, and there is a Fae King that is basically, I think he's the reason behind the curse or something like that, or wants to take her family down, something along those lines. And they get caught up in this whole mess together and fall for each other. So I think it sounds really cute. Hopefully it'll be really fun and just a quick, easy read. I'm really excited to try it out and just have something cute and easy, and I don't know, it just sounds really fun. So I'm really excited to try this one too. Alright, the next prompt that I got is a historical fiction, and for that one I am stretching things just a tad because I decided to go with another book that I've heard about a whole lot on YouTube, and that is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This one is a historical fantasy. I believe that it's set in an alternate World War I era, and 2 people that I don't know how they do it, but they exchange letters somehow, and it's supposed to be really cute and really good, and so I'm really excited to try it. The next prompt that I got is adapted. For this one, I am going to keep reading the Harry Potter series to annotate and pass along to my dad, and so for that one I am up to book 6, and that is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling. This, if I remember correctly from the last time that I read it, is one of my 2 favorites in the entire series. This is the one that I feel like I have the most memories with this book, because the first time that I read it was actually borrowing my sister's copy at her house up in Washington, and I had to hurry up and read it so that way her and I could go and see the movie together while I was visiting her. And so this is my favorite movie of the series, so I'm really excited to reread this one. The next prompt that I got is a book with royalty. For this one, I decided to go with another one that I just got for Christmas. My husband treated me to a whole bunch of books, and for that one, I'm going to choose The Half King by Melissa Landers. I don't know a ton about it, but it is a absolutely gorgeous copy, and it sounds really intriguing. So I don't know a ton about this one. All I remember is that basically this girl is supposed to go in and be a seer for the king, but she has no seer abilities at all, and they fall for each other. And that's all I really know about it, but I'm really excited to try it out. The next prompt that I got is a new release. For this one, I am going to stretch things into February for this because Sid and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver gets released on February 11th, or is supposed to. And I am for damn sure going to be buying that book as soon as it comes out. I cannot wait. This is the third and final book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. First one being Butcher and Blackbird, second one being Leather and Lark, and I've absolutely eaten those books up. Absolute favorites from last year, and I loved those books. So I'm really excited to pick up the third and final book in that series. And last but not least, I got a reread. And for that one, I'm going to finish out the Harry Potter series and read Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. Obviously, this is book 7. I don't remember this book as much, so I'm really excited to reread it and experience it again. I've had a really good time rereading all of these books. Some of them I remember bits and pieces more than others, so this one I feel like I remember the least about it, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. So that is it, guys. I'm not going to hold up my stack of books because I do have a little one sitting on my lap. I am not going to be picking up this stack for the moment, but overall, those are the books that I will be choosing from for January. I will come back at the end of the month to do a Winter Binger Bingo wrap-up, give you kind of some of my thoughts, our thoughts, mine and my sister's, for moving into next year when we actually share this more with you guys. We would love for you guys to join us with doing the Winter Binger Bingo. Her and I have had an absolute blast with it, just kind of sending it stuff back and forth, talking about it, sharing ideas and whatnot. So we're really excited to get that ready to share with all of you. But I do plan on coming back at the end of January for a wrap-up of that and letting you know what I've read, what bingos I have or have not gotten, and all that good stuff. Overall, I am really hoping that you'll stick with me with trying this out with my TBR. I don't know how it's going to work. I might go back to monthly TBRs after this, but who knows. I do want to focus, like I said, more on my vlogs and my other video content that I want to do here soon, especially at the beginning of the year. I have so many different ideas, so many things I want to do, and honestly, just not enough hours in a day. So if you could bear with me, I would really appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you being here whenever you do watch my videos. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe down below, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye.